You know, something that's really crazy to me and like super pisses me off is the fact that you can spend 70 grand on a brand new 24 S650 Dark Horse, but the condition that you get the vehicle from the dealership in terms of the paint is absolutely horrendous. So when I bought this car just a couple months ago, I haven't even had time to get around to do this myself, but when I got the car, it had a ton of swirls, scratches, a bunch of other marks on the vehicle. Overall, just really not a good experience to receive a brand new car that you've been waiting for, and then to get it and it be filled with scratches and swirls. Now, since the Dark Horse is black, this is the Shadow Black Dark Horse, and it is gonna show a lot of the scratches and swirls, more so than other colors of paint. Black is just one of those, you know, paint codes that is hard to keep looking good. But as you can see right now, the car is super dusty. So this is just dirt and dust. You can't really see the scratches until we get it cleaned up. But what we're going to do now is pull it over into the wash bay. We're gonna get it washed. We're gonna get it decontaminated. And essentially we're gonna get it ready and prepped for a full two-step paint correction. Now, the front end, so front bumper, hood, those front quarters are all PPF. So that part has already been paint corrected underneath the PPF. We will do a quick, like a quick one-step polish over the PPF before we go ahead and coat it. But let's go ahead and get the car into the wash bay, get it cleaned up, and then I'll give you guys an understanding of how bad the scratches and swirls are on the paint as it sits right now. All right, so since this process can essentially be done DIY or from your house or however you want to do this, if you plan on doing it yourself, I wanted to take a second and talk about the products that we're going to be using on the car for this decontamination wash. I'll leave links to all these products down below in the description if you guys want to check them out. So getting into it, since I've had the car, we've had it for a couple months, I've been using this stuff from Geon called Wet Coat. If you've never heard of this stuff is amazing. So basically it's like instant hydrophobic properties, kind of similar properties to a ceramic coating. It's just not something that's going to last as long as a dedicated ceramic coating. But during the decontamination wash, I need to try to strip any of this protection that's on the vehicle. And we're going to be using a couple different products to go ahead and help us doing that. The first thing that we're going to use is cleaning up the wheels and tires with Geon's Iron Wheel Cleaner, and then their dedicated tire cleaner as well. Both these products work extremely well. And then we'll move on to the car, and we're going to use Coach Chemi's Super Foam. This is a snow foam that has like a higher pH in it. This is a pH of 12. So it's going to help us strip some of that protection off. And there's quite a bit of bug guts on the front end of the car, so it's going to help soften those guys up and make them easy to remove. We're gonna foam this on the car while it's dry. We're gonna wait a couple minutes, immediately rinse it off. Then we'll go ahead and put a pH neutral soap. So this is from SoCal Wax, the wash and gloss soap. This is, like I said, a pH neutral soap, not something that has more acidity or more bite to it like the Super Foam. But we're gonna put that in the foam cannon. Then we'll go on for our contact wash, get it all cleaned up, rinsed off. And then we're gonna move over to CarPro's Iron X, which is a dedicated iron remover. We're going to pair that with a clay mitt, and we're gonna go ahead and clay mitt the car, essentially using the iron remover as a clay lubricant. And then once we do that, we'll go ahead and dry the car, and it'll be ready for the next step. But wanted to give you guys a heads up on the products that we're gonna be using today. right, guys, got the car all cleaned up. It's dry right now. So I wanted to be able to show you the paint before we move on to taping all these plastics, because obviously we don't want to get compound on there. There's a lot on the back end here that we got to tape up. But I mean, as it sits right now, in this lighting, the car looks fine. But once you get up close with the light, see how well this picks up on camera. But you could just see all these scratches and swirls. Back here. There. Lots of little defects in the paint. It's pretty bad back here. So, that is what you get for factory paint nowadays. Kind of fucking crazy. $70,000 car, and that's the kind of quality paint that you pay for. But that's what we're going to be taking care of. Like I said, next we're going to get on here, tape up all the plastic, tape up all the door seals, things like that. Things that we don't want to get compound on. And then we'll move forward with the two-step paint correction. All right, so went ahead and did like a little test spot over here on this hip of the car. But as you can kind of see, it's hard to pick it up. No more scratches. We didn't go up until here. So yeah, that's what that is going to end up looking like. And the combo that we ended up going with, yellow foam Rupes pad with Coach Kemi's heavy cut for the first step, and then coming back and kind of refining with Uno Pure and an Uno Fine white pad. So now that we have our combo, finish taping up all the door seals, all the plastic, things like that, and we'll get to it. Quick update on where we're at with paint correcting and ceramic coating the Dark Horse. So you just watched a couple clips. That was the first step. So we've gone through and we've cut or removed all the defects out of the paint. For the most part, I would say it's like 85–90% there. There's some deeper scratches that I didn't really want to chase, but let's see, it is 4:45. Started on the car at 10 a.m. this morning and didn't really take any breaks. So if you are the type of person that doesn't want to do this yourself, wants to pay somebody to do this, this is why paint correcting and ceramic coating your vehicle costs so much money, because there's so much time involved with it. Now granted, with somebody like me, I'm just kind of OCD about it, so I like to make sure that things are perfect. But as you can see, it's looking like glass. And it's kind of interesting, you probably won't be able to see it here on the camera, but the paint has like a blue flake in it, which is kind of crazy because that's not something that I could see before when all the scratches were in it. But you definitely can now. So that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow morning, we're going to jump back on it and do the second step, which is going to be polishing everything, including all the PPF. So I didn't have to touch the front end of the car. We just did the door, around the back, and the other door, the top of the vehicle, stuff like that. We didn't worry about touching the front because it's all paint protection film covered. But we will be polishing over that because there's some scratches in that already. And we'll be going and remove all those scratches, get the paint all dialed in, so it'll look a lot better once we go through and polish it. But as it sits right now, all the defects are removed from the Dark Horse, and man, it looks pretty crazy. It is black. So let's jump into the next day's footage. All right, guys, so the Dark Horse is completely dialed in now. We pulled it here into the showroom. I've already checked it out in the direct sunlight, and it looks absolutely amazing. The approach that I took on this paint correction, this car actually has very, very soft paint, so I didn't have to be super aggressive on the cutting stage, but we went ahead and cut the car, cut all the defects out of it. I would say 85–90% of the defects are gone. I didn't chase like really deep scratches. And to be honest, you can't really see them to the naked eye anyways, unless you're looking at it in direct sunlight or with like a magnifying glass, right? So that being said, it is all done, taken care of. We went ahead and polished it like you've seen in the clips just before this. And now it is ready to go for ceramic coating. Just got to do one more panel wipe with an IPA solution to get any kind of like the polishing residues, things like that off the car. But I wanted to bring you guys in and show you exactly what we're going to be using as far as the ceramic coating goes. So I'm trying out a couple new products here. You know, obviously here at Detail Lounge, we carry a wide variety of different products. So we're trying out some G-Technic Crystal Serum Light. This is going to be the base coat. And then we're going to put the topper on, and that is the G-Technic Exo V5. There's a 2-hour window. You have to wait 2 hours between application of each. And then we have Geon's trim. So this is stuff that we're going to be using on all the plastic trim on the front bumper. So that front splitter, side skirts, and then here in the rear end as well. And then finally, we'll go over with another Geon product called Quick View, and we'll get the windows all ceramic coated as well. Because here during monsoon season, when it starts to rain really heavy, it's kind of a pain, and it's definitely very beneficial to have the windows coated, right? So water just beads off. But let's go ahead and jump into wiping this thing down and then applying the first layer of ceramic coating. All right guys, so there we have it. The Dark Horse is fully coated. We put the first layer of the CSL from G-Technic and then the XO V5 as the final like topper layer on the car. We did all the trim with the Geon trim and the windows with the Geon as well. So a little sneak peek of some new wheels. We got to get those on the car, get those coated as well. So much easier to maintain and take care of once they are ceramic coated. But that is going to do it for our video today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see more of this type of content, definitely let me know down below in the comment section of this video. Other than that, we will catch you on the next one.